Hi guys, it's Scott from King Queen Cichlids. Now, I just got back from my local club cookout. We have a picnic every year, and this year was probably the biggest cookout we've ever had, and just makes me very proud to see that the club that I created 6 years ago is doing so well. Now, I'm not taking any credit for how big that picnic was or anything like that, but I do take some pride in that the club has grown and grown year after year to what it is today, a very well-known and well-respected club around the country. So you guys have been asking for this video. How do you start a club in your area? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, come on, let's go.
Hi guys, it's Scott, and today we're going to talk about a subject that people have been asking me to talk about for probably a year now, and that is, how did I create the Cichlid Club of York, and how can you guys out there do the same? Alright, so first things first, I do want to shout out to my friend Martin from Super Cichlids. He sent me a new microphone that I'm trying out right now. Hopefully the sound sounds great, and if so, please leave a comment and let me know that you're enjoying the sound better than previous videos. Okay, if you haven't gone to Super Cichlids, definitely check them out. supercichlids.com. Everything you need in the hobby they have for you. Filtration, food, decoration, it's amazing. Definitely check them out. supercichlids.com. You will not be disappointed, and they're huge supporters of the hobby, so you definitely want to support them as well. Okay, with that said, let's get started on how to start your own club in your local area. You guys ready? Now, I'm not going to start telling you how to do it just yet. First, I got to ask you guys 5 questions. If you're really serious about this, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You think about them, give me your answers, soul search, and if you say yes to all 5, you're definitely ready to start a club in your local area. If you say no to any of them, I would seriously ask you to reconsider what you're about to embark on. Okay? Question number 1, do you really have the time to create a club in your local area? This is not something where you just hit an on button and it all starts. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. I can tell you firsthand, in 2011, when I started the Cichlid Club of York, it was countless hours on the computer, countless hours talking to people out at pet stores, at various other clubs. It was a lot of my time, a lot of my energy. Back in 2011, Facebook was big, but it didn't have a lot of the tropical fish club groups that are on now. So I actually created my own website, built that thing together, put descriptions on it, logos, pictures, all the eye candy I could think of. It was a lot of work. So number 1, do you have the time to actually put a fish club together? And I would say 20 hours a week is not far-fetched to get the club started and up and running. Now, those hours will lessen as the club actually starts churning on its own and you have people around you to support you. But in the beginning, buddy, it's only you. So definitely think about the amount of time that it's going to take to get this off the ground and running. If you don't have the time, don't even think about starting this project. Number 2, do you have the finances for this? Now, I will tell you, the Cichlid Club of York, I funded out of my own pocket for the first year. A lot of people ask me why I did that. I did that because I didn't really know how successful it would be. I didn't feel good taking people's money as far as memberships the first year until I knew for a fact that it was actually going to be successful. I don't want to take someone's $25 and then 6 months into the year be like, oh, I'm sorry, guy, it just didn't turn out to be what I wanted. No, I wanted to make sure that I actually had something that would be successful, something that other people were excited about before I took any funds. Now, think about this. There are things that you have to pay for, things that you need to be aware of. You need to find a location place. Now, unless you're running it out of your own house, you're going to have to pay someone for a location. I had a clubhouse that was in my neighborhood down the street, about 5 houses down. It was $50 an hour to rent it out. I thought it was reasonable. So for a 2-hour meeting, sometimes it went to 3. I was paying $100 to $150 a month for the meeting. Then you have to think about food. Now, I'd go to Little Caesars. I was cheap. I'd go to Little Caesars, get me about $5 pizzas, $25. People were fed. And then the last thing you need to think about is your speaker. You have to think about the cost of your speakers. Most speakers are really kind and generous people. They don't ask for anything in return other than just pay for their gas or pay for their lodging. Whatever it is that you've agreed to, you need to make sure that you cover their costs. Gas, travel, and lodging. So, you know, someone like a Mo Devlin that did me a favor the first year and came and did a talk, a wonderful talk. All he charged me was for his gas. There are a lot of generous people out there that will help support your club. But just keep in mind that you're going to have finances. Now, you don't have to do it the way I did it. Now, I just did it because that's how I wanted to do it. But you will have to figure out how to generate funds. I work for the American Cichlid Association. I work hand in hand with ZooMed. A startup club is not going to get a lot of support and or donations from other companies. These companies want to make sure that your club is going to be viable, successful, and that they're going to see some returns from their donations, such as people buying their product. You can't establish that with a company until you've at least run for a year and you can tell them, hey, we have 20 to 25 to 30 to 40 people coming every month. And once they see that and you can verify that, then they will be more willing to donate money and funds. Product and funds. But until then, the first year is going to be the most difficult. You just need to be prepared and have finances figured out some way, somehow. Towards the end of the first year, we had a donation box where people would donate stuff. Sometimes people were very generous and would donate fish, and 100% of the fish that were donated, the funds would come to me to help offset some of the costs that I was having to pay for. So there are ways around it. Generally, people are great, and they will try to help you as you launch your club. Get the right people, the right friends around you, and you will be successful. But number two, remember, you have to have money available. Okay? Number three, and I got a list down here, so let's number three. Number three, this is a big one. Do you have the personality to actually get your club up and running? Meaning, I have a big personality. I love people. I'm very people oriented. If you are not able to stand up in front of a crowd and talk and promote the club that you're getting ready to create, it's going to be a difficult situation for you. If you do not have that skill set, and many people don't, you need to at least have someone work with you that has that ability to get up, talk about the club, sell it, and get people excited and asses in the seats. That's one of my strengths. I can get asses in the seat. I can get people excited. I enjoyed promoting the club. I know a lot of people. I go to various events. So I was able to get people from Maryland and Lancaster to come and be a part of the club. But you definitely have to be a people person to get the club in the public eye, up and running, and people excited about attending. The Cichlid Club of York has been very lucky that we have had a timeline where I was in charge. I was able to get the club up and running and popular, and then someone like Dwayne Walker, who has the skills and talent to then start building like a structure and an organization and rules, really came through to help. So I got the club up and running and popular, and then here comes Dwayne to help now give it some structure, some rules, and help build the membership. So we were very lucky to have that order of people come in. All right, so that is number three. Make sure you have the personality to get up there and present your club and be very people-oriented at all times, because that will attract people to want to come to your club. Okay? Number four, what do we have here? Do you have a market, which means do you have an audience? The club that you want to create, do you have enough people interested in the same thing you are interested in to even validate having a local club? I will tell you this, I got very, very lucky with my choice of clubs. I was very specific in calling it the Cichlid Club of York. I really rolled the dice on that one because not everyone are into cichlids. Most clubs are general. They're like a tropical fish society or club, which means that they can talk about killifish, guppies, anything you want out there. But I, again, was very specific about I wanted a cichlid club. That's what I wanted to have every month. I wanted to have a cichlid speaker. The stuff in the auction, I wanted to have cichlids in there and have products that were cichlid oriented. So what I would suggest is, and it's much easier now, there are lots of fish groups on Facebook. Join 5 or 10 of them and put your name out there, tell them where you're located at, and find out if there are other people in the group that are in your area. And you will be able to slowly build a following of people who will want to create a club along with you, or at least attend the club that you're creating. So get on Facebook, get on other social medias. It's much easier now than it was for me back 8 years ago or 7 years ago. And introduce yourself to people and get people excited about what you're trying to create, and make sure there are people in your local area who will actually be attending these meetings. If you're the only one or 2 other people are the only people really excited about tropical fish or whatever the local club you're trying to create, then it's not going to be very successful. So make sure you check your market, make sure you have an audience for the club you're getting ready to create. Okay? And the last one is, what do we have for the last one? Do you have the right people around you? Now, I was very, very blessed to have a great team of people around me. I can't tell you how invaluable those people were to the success of the Cichlid Club of York. I got a lot of praise and accolades personally for creating the club, but quite honestly, it was the people behind the scene, the people you didn't see, that really made the difference in making the Cichlid Club of York successful. So I have strengths in promoting and being personable, but I have weaknesses in making rules and structure and stuff like that. I want everyone to have a good time. When you hit the door, I'm going to be the first one to welcome you, say thank you for coming, and get you excited about what's getting ready to take place. But you need other people, like people to run the treasury, people to run the auction, people to take care of food. There's just so many things that you need help with, and you certainly can't do it on your own. And I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't do everything on my own when it came to the Cichlid Club of York. It took great people around me to make that happen. So I would suggest that you have at least 2 or 3 good people you can count on that can do various roles and help you get the club up and running. Now, once the club gets running, you're going to find people who will volunteer to help do various things in the job and on the club board. But the first things first, make sure you surround yourself with the right type of people who can help you make the club as successful as possible. Okay? So ask those 5 questions, guys and gals, and decide. If you say yes to all of them, then we're well on our way to creating our club. Okay? If you have said no or kind of hesitant on some of them, then maybe you need to rethink the whole process of creating a club. But that's my time for right now. Again, we're going to make this a 4 or 5 part series. Leave your comments below. Any questions you have for me, any direction you want me to go next video, so we can really get into the meat of this and talk about how to do a successful club. Post them in the comments. I will read them. I will get our next video in that direction. Okay? If you guys haven't subscribed to King and Queen Cichlids, where the hell have you been? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. We have a lot of stuff planned for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will take part in it. Okay? Keep your hands wet, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.